Hey, hello, you fabulous people on the internet. It's Miriam Gilbert here from the Impactfulness Lab, where I help small businesses, coaches, consultants, trainers, and service providers land high-paying corporate clients by sharing my 20 plus years of insights as a former senior decision maker and CFO, and all the things I've learned about selling to corporate clients in my almost 9 years now of running my own corporate consultancy. I also throw in a dash of behavioral science nerdery because I love it. Today, however, I want to talk about something completely different. And that is, I want to share with you a real story. I want to share with you what my failed business and running some really sucky workshops have told me about selling to corporate clients. Now, I'm going to make sure that you can actually hear and see me, that this is going live. If you're catching this live, please let me know in the comments. Let me know. I'm going live to a few places. If you're catching that in the group, yay, please leave me a comment. Please say hello. And if you're in the group, you will have to give Restream permission to show me your name. And that would be so much nicer, because otherwise all I get to see is Facebook user, which is a bit unfriendly, right? So, okay, all people are popping in. Hello, Alyssa. Hello, Jackie. Hello, oh my God, Jan. How is it, Jan? Yeah, okay. And well, leave me some comments as we go through, because what I want to share with you is something I have not shared with other people ever before. Well, I say ever. I have never shared this in a public forum before. And it's not so much because I'm embarrassed about it or anything. It's just because I never knew how to tell the story of what I have learned from this failed business and those extremely sucky workshops that I had run. Okay, so let's get going. All right, okay. Well, what we go back to 2013. Yes, all the way back to 2013. And at that time, I had just set up on my own. I decided not to go back to my previous paid employment, which I have to say was not an easy decision, because that monthly paycheck, that had had been very nice. But I had a great opportunity here. So I set up my own consultancy. And the thing that I've always been really passionate about is communication. I love communicating. If you've seen any of my videos, you know that I talk far too much. Well, it's just me. But also, I've always been fascinated with communication and how people try to communicate, but often aren't very good at it in organizations. That's particular. They're also not very good at it in real life, right? That's good. We know all that. But particularly in organizations, so many people don't get communication right. So there I was back in 2013 thinking, right, I'm going to do something about communication, right? Storytelling had just become big business in business. So I thought, who do I know who really needs to improve their communication skills? And you probably know, I'm a chartered accountant by training. So I have worked with a lot of people who I call numbers people. These are the accountants. I've also worked with a lot of engineers. I have worked with a lot of people in IT. And I call all these people the numbers people. And I thought, at that time, I thought, yes, this is what my consultancy is all going to be about. It's going to be improving communication skills for these number people. Sounded like a good idea, right? Sounded like an amazing idea. In fact, I did all the tests and, there seemed to be a demand out there. But you will have to listen to the end, because what I found was this. I set up my business. I did promotions. I went out and spoke to potential clients. And you know what? people were buying it. So woohoo, that sounded really, really good. But something wasn't right. And after I had worked with a few clients, I realized a few things. And this is what gave me the first clue of what I had to learn about selling to corporate clients. And the first clue was that the work I was doing, even though I was passionate about the topic, the way that I was asked to do the work, the way I was asked to deliver that training, that wasn't very good. Have you ever been in that situation where you are doing work that you should enjoy, but something's not right? Yeah, I can say yes, exactly. Leave me a yes if you can see that. If you're catching this on the replay, leave me a yes, #yes, because it is quite common that people, especially coaches and consultants, get into a certain area of working, something that they're absolutely passionate about and that they love, and then it's not quite how they expected it or what they were thinking it was going to be like. So that was happening to me. But, I carried on because it was my business and I, had to carry on. But what I found next was that, how shall I say this? Well, I'll just be honest. I didn't feel valued by my clients. I really didn't feel very valued. And that had a lot to do with the fact that I would go in and do my work and leave, but I never got the feeling that there was, that I did make a big difference. And secondly, the pay wasn't that great. It was okay, I got by, but it wasn't that great. So I wasn't really particularly chuffed about that. So these are like little clues that gave me an idea of things aren't quite right. I'm doing something not well here. And of course, first of all, I, blamed myself, as we all do. We think like, oh, maybe I need to improve, or maybe maybe I need more training. Maybe I need another qualification. Maybe I need to have more skills. But before I dove into going out and getting another qualification, I had a very, very sucky workshop that actually saved my bacon. That's right. It actually saved my butt. Because if I hadn't run this, I run a really sucky workshop. If I hadn't done that, I probably would have continued on a path that still, it was okay, but it wasn't quite right. Now, do you want to know about the sucky workshop? Do you want to know what happened in this really, really sucky workshop? Yes? Do you want to know? Yeah, I see the yeses coming in. Okay. So what happened in this really sucky workshop was this. It was a big workshop. It was run over 3 days, not consecutive days, but it was a big deal. It was a big client, it was a very, very nice contract. So they paid me well. Still not as well as I think I should, and I would definitely charge more now, but it was, at the time, it meant a lot to me. And I had prepared the heck out of it. I really knew my stuff. I had gone to town on engagement techniques. I had gone to town on learning transfers. I had gone to town on having really clear and engaging learning outcome set. So I felt it was going to be an excellent workshop. And it wasn't. And you know why? It was not because I sucked. It actually wasn't. I still think that my workshop was fine. Sure, there's always room for improvement, but it wasn't that I fundamentally sucked that made the workshop suck. What made the workshop suck was the fact that the people in the workshop didn't want to be there. They absolutely did not want to be there. They had not been bought in, and they were sent there by the managers because they were told that they needed to improve their communication, which obviously made them extremely receptive to this. They were also expected to take these 3 days and then still make up for all the work that they missed. So they were under top pressures, and on top of it, the organization was going through a restructuring, so they were panicked about the job. Talk about a triple hurdle. No surprise my workshop didn't hit the nail, because there you had people who were stressed out, worried about their job, and annoyed with their bosses. And I was telling them about how to use storytelling for better communication. It was destined to fail, right? Looking back at that, all I can do is laugh, because it really, there's no way it could be a good workshop. I will say that some people, they were nice. They were nice people. There was nothing wrong with them as people. And they came to me and they said, oh, we're sorry that, we're not really involved, or that we keep dipping out and going away for half an hour and stuff like that. But this is the situation. And so, it wasn't the people's fault. It actually wasn't my fault either. It was the situation. And that, however, let me realize the one thing that I needed to realize at the time in order to move on with my business, with my venture to run my own consultancy. Who do you want to know? Do you want to know? Yes. Yeah, you want to know? Okay. You want to know what I realized. What I realized wasn't the fact that I sucked, because I don't. In fact, I'm really, really good at certain things. And I am a very, very good consultant. It wasn't even that my material sucked. No, my material. And great. I'm happy with that. Fine. But what did suck at the time was my value proposition. Yep. My value proposition, which was about creating a value, but not being precise and clear who this was for, even though I had narrowed it down to the niche, as in, the numbers people, but I hadn't been clear of what place would these people be in, what would be going on in their minds, what was happening, what stage were they at, were they ready to even consider communications training? And that is a massive thing that I see all the time when people in business, when people in corporates are sent on training courses, away days, all of that kind of stuff. There is too little thought given of, are these people in the right place to actually absorb and use the training in ways that is beneficial, that is a real value. So what I was doing is I was throwing value at an organization and hope that something would stick, because I didn't have a good value proposition. It wasn't thought out enough. Now, I will say I have worked it out. It takes some time. It took some help, but now my value proposition is gold. And that is why now I get clients to hire me over and over again. I get clients to pay my prices, which I know are well at the top end of what other people charge, and nobody ever bats an eyelid. And I know that my approach to creating my value proposition is so effective that my students get the same results. In fact, one of my students managed to get a brand new client that she had never spoken to before without any inside contact, and she had only sold to one corporate client before. She managed to get that new client from cold in less than 30 days. Another one of my students managed to sell coaching sessions, just 3 90-minute sessions, for $15,000. That's amazing results. And and more and more of my students are getting these results because the fundamental thing that they're getting right, and I do not let them off without getting it right, is their value proposition. So I would like you to have that kind of solid, rejection-proof value proposition for your business. And if you are a coach or consultant or corporate trainer or provide some services to businesses, then you can get a free value proposition audit. Yes, it's an audit where I go to either your website or your LinkedIn profile or both, or any other place where you talk about what you do and the value that you bring to your clients. I go through that, I look through it. I have an 18-step audit process where I look at each stage and check, is your value proposition absolutely rejection proof? At the end, you get a free report with all the tweaks and suggestions of improvement. And the best thing is, I will do all of this completely anonymized so nobody knows that it's you, and you get the free tailored report. All you have to do to get this is apply for your spot in the value proposition audit. There is a time limit, however. It's only running for 14 days from now. So don't delay, because when a slot is taken for the day, it's gone. And I have filled the first 5 slots already, even though I've only started talking about it a couple of days ago. So make sure you're securing your spot. You can do that by popping to the link that is down there. I think down there. Oh, I can never tell the screen. You can see the link on the page. I will also pop the link in the comments below. And if you have any questions, just leave me a comment and I will happily get back to you. Now, remember, your value proposition is the most important asset of your business. So work on it, even if you are doing everything by yourself, but do tweak your value proposition so it becomes rejection proof. Hope to see you in the comments. See you soon.